like I said, musician is not what I am, it's who I am. And the idea was to bring it back to basics, because when people come and visit Goa now, what they understand to be Goan music is very different from what we understand to be Goan music. So, and we know what Goan music is, but what they hear are the commercial versions of what is being played. And yes, there is a place for that.
Yes.
But sadly, that's all they hear.
Yeah.
They never have access to this other side of traditional music,
Absolutely.
which is
Your Origin Story is a podcast that uncovers the inspiring journeys of Goa's most successful people. Hosted at the Origin Goa, we dive into the challenges, motivations, and secrets behind their success. Tune in to be inspired by the origins of greatness.
Today, we are joined by the inspiring Omar de Loiola Pereira, a musician who took the bold step of leaving his corporate career in Australia to pursue his true passion for music in Goa. Not only is Omar a gifted musician, but he's also the founder and conductor of Aradhon, a choral group dedicated to sacred music, which connects Goa's cultural heritage with global audiences. Omar's musical versatility extends beyond choral work. He performs across multiple musical groups in Goa, covering everything from pop to classic hits. His journey has taken him from local stages to international performances, always bridging cultures through his music. Join us as we explore his journey, his diverse projects, and his vision for the future of music. Thanks for being here, Omar. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and I'm very happy to have you here and get to know more about your journey.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before Australia and what made you move abroad?
So, I've always considered myself a musician. So, and an oft repeated phrase: "The musician is not what I am. I feel it's who I am." And so those who know me well have that one association, if any, with me. It's music. Not that I'm not fabulous at it, but it's all that I am.
I think people might disagree with that. You are fabulous.
No, it's well, that's relative. But yeah, so I started out when I was 7 years old, and thanks to my uncle, who somehow saw something in me,
I see.
gifted me my first guitar, and that changed my life pretty much. And yeah, so here we are today.
That's nice. What made you move abroad to Australia?
Music here was what it could be at that time. So I used to do since around 1987-ish. I would have been about 11, 12 years old. I started, Selvin Menezes and we started doing.
Oh, Selvin, and you go back all the way.
Absolutely. So we were doing gigs back then.
Wow.
But then also further down the track, I started my choir, Juventus, and so we used to do a lot of concerts and a lot of shows and things like that.
Which year was that? It was
Juventus was in 1992. I started in 92.
okay.
And then so that went on till about 97-ish. Then I started another group called Ovation, which went on till about 2000. And then around 2000, I wanted to do more, but there weren't that many opportunities for me here.
Okay.
And I knew that if I wanted to make music my livelihood, I had to do something different.
Yeah.
And at that time, the only way Goa would support my music as a livelihood was if I played in a wedding band, which I wasn't too keen on.
Okay.
Or if I had, let's say, a regular contract in hotels or whatever, the 6 nights a week and things, which again wasn't exactly my thing. So yeah, so I thought, let me go and try something new.
Yeah.
So I went to Australia actually to do more in music. So I did an advanced diploma in music performance. I did a diploma in music business management.
I see.
I did a bit in music production. But I think of all the things, the most valuable for me was the music business management.
Oh,
It completely shifted my
focus.
my perspective
Yeah.
on music and what it could be, because here music was a hobby,
Yeah.
and even for most uh, of those who are paid for their music, it's still a paid hobby.
Right.
But shifting that mode of thinking, and shifting it from a hobby to an enterprise, that is what music business management did for me.
Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, the Origin Goa here in Sarauli. We'd love for you to stop by for some delicious food and great cocktails so we can keep bringing you more of these amazing stories. Your visit would mean the world to us.
So today, music, I'm still as passionate about it as I was before, perhaps more.
Yeah.
But now I look at it not as a hobby, I look at it as an enterprise. It is an enterprise. So,
Very
so yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
So that was the reason behind going to Australia. But then, as normally happens, I had to survive. So then I started working for this company, and I started right at the bottom. And when I left, I was in a managerial position. But then, music called
Music.
back.
You, of course, made a significant change in your life by leaving a, corporate job abroad to pursue music. And, what really inspired that decision for you, and what was the turning point, you would say, for you?
So there were a few things along the way that kind of made me question, basically. It was a great job. I loved the people that I was working with. I loved the work I was doing, but it did not give me that sense of purpose that, how should I say?
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Thank you. That's the word. That sense of fulfillment that music gives me.
Yeah.
And I had a few kind of episodes along the way that kind of made me pause and rethink what I was doing. And one of them was me losing the use of my left hand.
Oh, gosh.
So I had a spinal issue, and the nerve that runs down my left arm got squeezed.
Oh.
Shall I say, for want of a polite word. And so pretty much I couldn't use my arm. And I was a few days after my surgery, I was told I was just a few days away from paralysis.
Oh, my God. That's quite advanced then.
Yeah. So it was really bad. And so that was about a year or so of not being able to play, and 6 months of not being able to lie down even. Immense amount of pain and all that kind of stuff. But the worst part of all of that was not being able to play.
Yeah.
So for me, that was probably the shifting point. And I started asking myself, if I knew, all of us have got a finite life.
Yes.
Yeah. But then I started thinking to myself, if I'm told that my finite life is not as long as I think it is, and if I have less time than I know, or less time than what I think it's going to be, what do I want my life to be?
Yeah.
And so that started this whole process of kind of self-evaluation. And the first thing was, I'm not making any music.
Yeah.
And then through that, my daughter was born. And when my daughter was born, that was the penny that dropped. It was what I want. What do I want for this girl? What do I want? what is it that I can give her? And the one thing that I had observed was that children of immigrants don't have a sense of identity. They don't know whether they belong to their new country or the country
Back
of
home.
their parents.
Yeah.
And I saw that across the board, and I said, I do not want her to have that. I do not want her to go through life questioning who she is. So then I sat down with my wife. This was when Tara was a baby.
Yeah.
She was literally a few weeks old, probably. I said, this is a thing. And of course, it had to be a combined decision.
Yeah.
I couldn't make that decision
Of
myself.
course, yeah.
So we sat down and we started talking about it. And it took us half an hour. So a major life decision was taken in about half an hour.
Or at least you decided. I mean, that was important.
So that was
What made you shift back
So
here?
then we moved back,
Wow.
and it was very difficult to say the least. Because it was literally moving countries. It
Of
was
course.
completely changing our life as we knew it. And yes, we were coming back home in a way, but it was nothing like what
you were
it
used
was
to.
15 years before.
Correct.
And coming down on a holiday once in a while is simply not the same as
Moving
down to live.
Yeah.
So it was a huge challenge. Oh, there were multiple challenges.
Yeah.
And 10 years later, there still are. But that's life anyway.
Yeah. In fact, I was coming down to that question itself about very specifically what challenges did you face transitioning from a corporate career to a full-time musician here, and was it a difficult decision to make? Did it feel like the natural next step for you?
So let me end that last and cue in this one with one phrase.
Yes.
We've had plenty of challenges, but not one regret.
Nice way to put that.
We haven't regretted our decision a single day. I've not had reason to regret it one single day.
Yeah.
Not once. So challenges, yes, lots of challenges. To start with, is normal challenges. We were kind of in both of us. We weren't spring chickens anymore. We had a little baby. We had to move to a new place. We were used to our own independent life. We had to now share our space, and our parents had to share their space with us. And so it was that adjustment. But it was also the adjustment of being new parents.
Yeah.
It was the adjustment of us, in a way, being in a new place. It was changing our entire environment and all that. So it was starting life anew. We had changed careers.
Yeah.
I had changed careers. So Wilma she's still a psychologist. She was a psychologist there. She's still a psychologist. But I changed careers. So it was literally starting out from scratch all over again, because the music industry that I had left 15 years before that was nothing like the music industry that I was getting into now. And nobody knew me. I didn't know anyone, or very few people. And most of those that I knew were no longer in the industry, or not in situations anymore that could significantly help help me
get back into the
industry. So it was quite a challenge. But having said that, challenges are challenges. They're not impossible. They're sometimes a little scary, but
you could be with it.
Yeah. And I think one of the main things was that we didn't move back with an idealistic or utopian view. We knew it was going to be difficult. We knew it was going to be challenging. We knew it was not going to be easy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. So it was what we expected.
You prepared for it in a certain sense.
Yeah. So we were prepared for the unpreparedness. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to my next question. Could you tell us about all the various musical groups that you handle or are part of currently?
Currently. Yeah. So one of the first things that happened when I moved back, it was almost simultaneous. I started my choir, Aradhon,
Yes.
which is a sacred music choir. And I started doing shows again with Selvin,
Okay.
but also with my brother-in-law,
Okay.
Errol Anurad,
Yeah.
who's also a guitarist. So we've got a duo. It's like just 2 acoustic guitars, 2 voices, and the most that we can do in
And brilliant
that.
music.
In that, no, it's whatever we can do in that, within those limitations.
Yeah.
But we don't really see it as a limitation. It's quite liberating, actually. So yeah, so it's just 2 guitars, two voices, and we call ourselves Omar and Errol. We kept it really simple. So yeah, so that was those were the first 2 setups,
Groups,
so to speak.
yeah.
But then, as Selvin and I went along, we thought, we'd add something to that setup. So then we had Efigenia Miranda join us as a singer.
Okay.
And so that trio was known as Harmonique.
Oh.
And so we started doing some shows and private parties and things like that. Then Efigenia got married, and she went her way, and Nadia Rebello joined in.
I see.
And so with Nadia, we became Entre Nos.
Okay.
And thankfully, we kind of, with Entre Nos, we started then making, how should I say, making progress in a way that we hadn't made before, because I think we knew that we were in the space and we wanted to do something serious. So Entre Nos happened. We then, how should I say, some videos that we did attracted the attention of Shubert Fernandez, he's a marketing professional, a PR professional.
I see.
Based in Mumbai. And so he then got in touch, and he and I started this platform called Sounds from Goa.
Mm-hmm.
And through Sounds from Goa, we started then doing these home concerts with where we kind of made traditional music much more intimate,
Mm-hmm.
and not just traditional, but Goan music. So we started staging these concerts where very intimate home concerts. So we call them our heritage home concerts.
Yeah.
And so we got in a group of dancers as well, and we curated this concert that takes you through a journey of music in Goa. And the emphasis is on legacy music, not so much current music, but I use the word legacy music rather than traditional music because it is not restricted only to traditional music. And then, of course, given we have Nadia Rebello, we also have a bit of the fado in there. But the fado is not random. We don't have it there just for the sake of having it there. We have it there because then we talk about parallels between the fado and Goan traditional music. So there is that perspective there.
Yeah.
There is that perspective. There are parallels between.
Connected.
Yes, there is a connect. There is a parallel, and so we talk about that. So we don't just sit and play songs. We talk about what we're going to do. We talk about the composers. We give the audience a perspective on the music that they're hearing. And that changes things because it's not so the home concerts have got four pillars.
Okay.
It's the music, it's the dance, it's the venue, which is usually a traditional heritage venue, whether it's a house or whether it's another venue, but it's always a heritage venue. And it's food, because usually when we have these, it's always accompanied by food,
Food.
but it's that traditional food. It's not the stuff that you can get in the market. So when we have these at our place in Benali, we've got the Goan kitchen
Mhm.
that we've associated with,
Yeah.
and they are the food partners.
Food partners.
And so yeah.
It's such a brilliant concept. I mean, I wish you the best with that because it's something so different and, unique to Goa in a certain sense. Because, and you're keeping some traditions alive, or legacy, like you.
Yeah, it was not about. So basically, it was kind of the idea was to bring it back to basics, because when people come and visit Goa now, what they understand to be Goan music is very different from what we understand to be Goan music. So, and we know what Goan music is, but what they hear are the commercial versions of what is being played. And yes, there is a place for that.
Yes.
But sadly, that's all they hear.
Yeah.
They never have access
Correct.
to this other side of traditional music,
Absolutely. Yeah.
which is rich.
Yes.
So that was the idea.
Yeah. So as someone who now plays across multiple music groups in Goa, what is it like balancing such a diverse range of, genres, and how do you manage the different aspects of your musical identity?
Yeah.
I know it's a hard one, but
Yes, and I really don't sit to think about it because it only complicates things. But yeah, no, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's like I said, music is not just what musician is not what I am, it's who I am. So and I love it in various forms and formats and aspects. It's not just the one type of music, it's various types. So I've got a very close connection with choral music and with arranging voices and things like that. So that's something I'm very passionate about. So both Aradhon, which is a sacred music choir, and Invox, which is the non-sacred music choir. So that is the expression of that side of me. So it's Invox and Aradhon. Whereas on the other side, we've got Entre Nos, which is kind of more your one side of it is Goan traditional music, but the other side of it is also more the Latin side of Goan music. So we do a lot of Portuguese, Konkani, Spanish. So it's music that we kind of grew up with, music that we learned from our parents, and music that's been that's been so that's been kind of so intimate with Goa for generations. But that you don't hear too often now.
True. Yeah, that's true.
So ballroom and things like that. So that kind of stuff. So that's Entre Nos. And then now we've got Noteworthy again. Nadia and I with Nigel on the keyboards. That is more your English kind of thing. It's mostly English. We do a bit of retro, we do a bit of contemporary, but we try to give it our own twist. We try to do it rather than just do covers the way the original does it. We try and give it our interpretation. We try and make it our own that way.
It's amazing, actually. I've heard you in multiple groups, so to speak, and you're amazing in every aspect of it.
Looking for a place to unwind? Discover the Origin Goa, where craft cocktails, mouth-watering food, and unforgettable vibes come alive. From live music to irresistible deals all throughout the week, there's always something happening. Why wait? The evening starts at 5 p.m. Why wait to find out about what everyone's talking about? I'll be here, probably enjoying one of these. Let's make it a night to remember, the Origin Goa.
You've had performances both locally and internationally. What are the key differences in the way audiences react to your music, you think, in Goa as compared to other parts of the world? Do you see any difference at all?
Um, Good question. Um, when we perform in Goa, especially I'm talking about Goan music.
Yeah.
Yep. When we perform in Goa, for Goans, it's their own music. I mean, they may like the way we do it,
Yes.
but it's their own music. They're used to it.
Used to it.
They, for them, it's there every day. When we perform overseas to a Goan audience, it is completely different.
Specifically to a Goan audience.
Specifically to a Goan audience. When we perform Goan music to a Goan audience overseas,
Yeah.
it is completely different because it's an emotional connect.
Yeah.
And it's an emotional connect I cannot describe. And we've had this happen. We've had this happen in Macau. We had this happen in Portugal. It's incredible. And as a musician, as a performer, there is nothing like that kind of a connection. In last year, we were fortunate to do. I traveled to Macau twice,
Okay.
and we did a concert tour around Portugal as well. And in Portugal, our first concert was sold out before we even left Goa,
Oh, wow.
which is something that we never expected.
Yeah.
We never expected that. But yeah, the first concert was sold out before we left Goa. And then when people heard about the first concert, the second concert sold out within an hour of it being advertised.
Wow.
And because it sold out so quickly, they had to then move it to a bigger auditorium.
I see.
That sold out within another hour.
Super hit.
And another appearance that we were going to do, the first posters had sold out. So for us, it was absolutely amazing. I cannot possibly express to you what that makes us feel.
Yeah.
And the response we got, okay, at least in Lisbon, it was mostly the Goan community.
Yeah.
Outside of Lisbon, it was the Portuguese community.
Yeah. So I was very keen on knowing how, they reacted.
Okay, so we didn't completely sell out, but we had very good crowds.
Mm-hmm.
But the connect was amazing. The interest that they took
Yeah.
and the feedback that we got from these audiences was really moving. You would, because in Portugal, we were doing our Goan traditional music
Yeah.
in Konkani.
Yeah.
What would they understand?
Right.
They didn't understand a single word of it.
Yeah.
But we used to talk about what it was. We used to talk about what we were going to perform. We used to, give them a context. So what we did was literally these home concerts that we do, we perform them in auditoria
Yeah.
in Portugal. So there was a context there. So it wasn't just us standing there and playing songs.
Playing
It
songs,
was
right.
actually educating them.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Because we had very good, it was received very well. There was magnificent feedback. So that really encouraged us.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it's humbling. It's humbling.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a hell of an experience. Hell of an experience.
Amazing. I mean, amazing that you got a chance and an opportunity to, showcase this in another part of the world and have people appreciate our, traditional music.
Yeah, it was.
So that's why I asked you, because there are a lot of, Goan bands and stuff, they go abroad and perform, but then it's a lot of the times it is typically a Goan audience and there is that emotional connect. But what about, the rest of the world? What their impression is, or how their reaction is. It's really
we
nice.
had both good and questionable.
Oh.
So there was one concert we did in Hong Kong. And so we're doing the concert. And some people started going, "Can you sing something in English?"
And did you give in to that request, or did you just
Yeah, we did a couple of English songs for the encore.
Oh, to keep them happy.
And that got a bigger response than the entire concert.
It takes time, right? I mean,
There are all kinds. You can't have it.
and there's all kinds of people as well. So it's interesting to know that.
But that was like the exception.
Yeah.
But
In all of your
otherwise, otherwise it's been fantastic.
As someone who's been involved in diverse projects, Omar, how do you manage to stay creatively inspired and avoid burnout sometimes while working across his various musical genres?
Who says I avoid burnout? I think
I'm assuming here.
I think I'm in a permanent state of burnout.
Close to maybe, but you're still in there. So
But you know what? It's one of those things. When I'm going, I just keep going, and when it all ends, I just crash.
yeah, especially because you're playing so often. So how do you keep up?
It's look, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. So it's not. I don't look at it as work. It's exhausting, yes, absolutely. But I absolutely love what I do,
And that's what
and
really
who I do it with. So it's the people that I do it with.
yeah,
So
that's also important actually.
yeah. So for me, these two things are the motivators. So for me, my musical setups are not just choirs or bands or whatever. They're family.
And the creativity aspect sort of comes from feedback you get, or
The creativity comes from various things. I don't know, where does creativity come from, but yeah, it kind of how should I say, when they're just inspirations that sometimes come
to you.
It's not something that I can put a finger on, but it
And say,
just sometimes happens. I've got to run with it then.
Yeah. You've made Goa your home and built a musical career here, right? How has the local music scene in Goa shaped you as an artist, you think? And what do you think about the direction it's heading today?
You see, like everything, there are pluses and minuses. There are pros and cons. The music scene, there is a lot of music in Goa. There is a lot of talent in Goa.
Of course.
But very sadly, there's no professionalism in Goa. So you have a kind of a, how should I say, there is this this duplicity almost in the scenario. Like I said earlier, sadly, and this is not just with music.
Yeah.
This is not just with music. This is actually, I've noticed this across the board.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know what being professional means. And whatever they do, be it music or otherwise, they treat it as a paid hobby.
Yeah.
You know?
Sadly.
And even those who've been in the industries for years treat it as a paid hobby. Yeah. The social lives and social obligations and things like that are more important. They don't look at their trade as their livelihood,
Yeah.
as a trade, as an enterprise. It's a paid hobby.
Rightfully so.
And that's very sad, because the potential that Goa has is enormous, but it sadly is going to take a lot more time and a lot more introspection, I guess,
Yeah.
to get there.
On the part of most, you feel, people.
And sadly, again, another thing with Goa is there are no budgets. It's too small. It's too small a place in that sense. It's too small an audience. It's just too small a place.
What do you believe is the power of music in bringing people together, especially in a world that's so diverse? I just want to hear it from the man who is all about music. So
Music is like sports. I mean, those who love music get bound by music. Those who love sports will be bound by sports. Those who love art will be bound by art. Yeah. Music is an art.
Yeah,
But,
it is
I
an
mean,
art form.
yeah. But I think that probably music is one of the most, how should I say, most people, even if they aren't musicians or singers, or even if they are not into music, they love music. It is an inherent part of everyone's life. It is, how should I say, you find music everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't not listen to music. That would be a tragic life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anybody particularly who
Exactly.
doesn't like
So
music. Yeah. But
it's one of those things that you can't do without.
yeah.
And so, yeah, so I think that that's the one thing really that can bring people together. It's and if you listen to music
Yeah.
from around the world, it is different and yet not.
Yeah, actually, if I actually think about it, yes,
It's yes, each
you're all kind of connected in a certain way.
each corner of the globe has got its own uniqueness,
Yes.
but there are ways of connecting music from across the globe. So the interesting thing was when I was in Sydney, I had a friend of mine who was a Venezuelan
Mm-hmm.
and great guitarist. So he used to sit and play,
Yeah.
and we actually had a little setup in Sydney. And I realized that some of those South American rhythms were so close to Goan
Goan,
rhythms.
yeah.
And I could perfectly, on that same rhythm structure, okay, we could do either a South American tune or a Goan tune without changing anything.
Oh, wow. I think it's that Latin sort of aspect, maybe.
No,
Not
it's just,
particularly.
this is more in terms of rhythms rather than styles.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. Recently, Entre Nos, we were, I mean, every once in a while we come up with these music videos and things like that, and we were kind of working towards the next video that we wanted. So we were looking at two things. We were looking at doing something very Goan and a fad.
Mm.
And I still remember that rehearsal we were doing. We started off with the Dekini. We wanted to do an arrangement of the Dekini.
Yeah.
So we were doing that kind of bits and pieces here and there. And then we thought, okay, now let's move across and let's try doing the fad. And then we realized, hang on a second, as I'm going through that, through the rhythmic progressions,
Yeah.
this is the same thing.
How funny is that?
Exactly. And here is a Dekini,
Yeah.
okay, which is completely Goan.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about a fad, which is completely Portuguese. And so we ended up, instead of making two separate videos, we ended up doing a mashup.
Joining them. Wow.
We ended
Love
up doing
to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking ahead, what are some of your future plans for the music scene in Goa, Omar? Are there any new projects you're excited about or any goals you're particularly working towards in your musical journey?
Yeah, there are plenty. I don't know which of those will materialize because plans and ideas are always there, and there are lots of them. But the challenge is finding the right people, the right circumstances, and the all important thing, which is funding. So funding is the bane of all projects. But we've got we've got lots of possibilities, but it's just about getting all those things together.
I mean, you're already in like so many different groups and so many.
Not nearly enough.
But
It's not nearly enough in my mind.
yeah, that is
Not nearly enough.
So finally, to end with, for aspiring musicians who might be listening to this podcast today, what advice would you give them, especially those who might fear the uncertainty, in these things sometimes.
There's uncertainty in any profession you pick.
Yeah.
In any profession you pick, there's uncertainty.
Yeah.
So, but if you're looking at music as a profession, make it a profession. Don't make it a hobby. Be serious about it. Be faithful to it. Be courageous about it. Be professional about it. And for God's sake, this is something that we Goans are so known for. Keep the ego down.
Yeah. A great advice.
Oh my God, that is one of the major. But this was always the case.
I like how you summarize your, all this time, the last few minutes of us speaking, all those aspects in there about professionalism and, about it not being just a hobby. It's just very good advice, I would say. Yeah.
It's see, music is just like any other enterprise. For those who love music, who are good at it, my wholehearted advice is do it. And I don't say this randomly. I say it because I've done it.
Yeah.
It's been a personal journey. But you have to in Goa, you have to have the courage for it because it's not looked upon as something that one would do.
That's absolutely
normally.
right. Yeah.
So that's why I say have the courage for it, but have the dedication, have the vision. And it's hard work. It's just as hard as anything else. Maybe harder because it's not taken seriously enough.
Yeah.
So, be committed to it. Be courageous about it, and be real about it.
Be Omar, right?
No.
No, but really, thank you so much for sharing, your wonderful, wonderful journey with us. I'm sure it's been very inspiring to our audience, and there's a lot of things that they can learn from you, and take home points from what you said.
I hope so.
And we wish you all the best.
It's just my journey. So
yeah, but
I
it's
hope-
truly inspiring. So we wish you all the best, you and your groups, and in all your future endeavors
Thank
that
you
are to come.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.